I don't even know how you could FUD that. I guess you could be upset because he did some outrage marketing at first. I think his website went down too. I think he had tweeted something about that. His Richard Hart Win website's now gone. I almost wouldn't be surprised that he might not disappear, but continue to take a step back as everything else falls into place over time. It seems like this was a long, well thought out and pre-planned deal. And I think that the last thing we were waiting on was what we found out yesterday, was being able to use leverage with those other stable coins, in my opinion. There's PLS Pup. Buddy, let me invite you up. Yeah, I know Pulsechain itself looks like it's getting hit hard. I'm sure everyone's bags are, we're all kind of wishy-washy with it. But in my opinion, it's just opportunity. You got to shake everyone out before you can get to the rise. I mean, with this type of a sacrifice that was held, so many people with big bags that were already up in hex, like 30, 40x, technically if they sacrificed, they're still up like 25x, even at half the price of even if Pulse is at half the sacrifice price, so they're still technically sitting on profits. And then people got into PDI, but I thought it was interesting, and almost the exact drop in percentage of PDI that day was almost the rise that we saw in EHEX that same day. It was like 25% down over here, and it was 30% up over there. I mean, the funds didn't flow that way, but seemingly it seemed pretty interesting that was kind of corresponded that way. That's kind of just how the markets go at times. But I'm no financial advisor. I'm just a peanut brain man that enjoys reading white papers for whatever reason. Yeah, I would definitely take us time to go check out Gnosis and just go check out an old wallet, and you'll see what I'm talking about, or even a wallet. But don't go play on it, like go clicking around on these websites and stuff. But you'll see that there's random airdrops, and it's either they're there for a reason or they're going to be cleared. If you know what Gnosis chain is, they're really known for multi-sig and security type things. So I think their market cap was around 3 billion. They lowered their supply through a DAO. So I would also maybe check out their copy on Pulsechain. Might be a steal. That's kind of why I tweeted what I did. But that's where Spark actually launched. So Spark, Lind, and Spark, that we're seeing, they launched on Gnosis, but they did it kind of quietly. Their logo's not up over there, but their tokens are there. But it was just kind of like a quiet launch. And again, I think that was all for some stuff, the reasons that we can't wrap our heads around yet until everything does unfold. I hope people can see through some of the bullshit going on. Because sometimes I do feel like people are flooding you out of your bags, and they are buying while they're trying to like whales dumping and trying to just scare tactics so they can continue to accumulate supply. And to pretend like that isn't something that happens would be naive. We've been waiting so many years for this to happen. It's just, I'm super amped. I know the community's pretty amped, and just things continue to unfold to where I haven't been like right on the money, but everything kind of is unfolding as close enough to where it's just like they are what they are. How you feeling, Sponge? How you feeling about it? What do you think?
Oh, dude, I feel amazing, man. I don't think anything can take this thing down. It's an unstoppable machine. So as long as certain parts of this machine are renounced and immutable, they can't really shut it down no matter what they want. And it's exactly what it is. It's basically just a decentralized printing press. So yeah, it is what it is. People can try to shake you out of your bags, but at the end of the day, this thing's trading at the same volatility as Solana meme coins, base meme coins. So what can you really what can you really ask for? You're getting the same gains that you are in meme coins, but you got the security of a good ass narrative where something's going to go to $1. I can't even like words can't describe how easy it is to show this narrative to people when they see the DAI stablecoin. They're like, oh, is it actually gonna? Yes, literally how it goes. It's like, oh, is it gonna? Yes,
Right,
literally
same
yes.
contracts, same con. It's wild to think, yeah, but it's probably, I don't think anyone could
Same
think of a
contracts,
bigger and
better
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 narrative,
developer. Oops, did I say that? It's richer, better than
right?
Vitalik. Oops.
So really,
Well, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, go
were
ahead.
you able to find more on that front with my? And have you? I haven't been able to catch up with you all day for obvious reasons, but is there any more on that front? And did you share that with anybody yet? Or
I have not dropped any more information about that. That is tied directly with Polygon and the 16 million sitting on Superchain. That I do know, but that was about. I know there's 27 million in total value of stablecoins. It was mainly directly tied to Polygon and it's dead on Ethereum, but looks alive and well. And they were backing it with like 182 different tokens, and it stayed pegged too. So there was only one time did it depeg, and it depegged for only a day or two to like 75 cents, and then went right back to peg. So it kind of proved the point of being able to use multiple different assets to have an asset through the vaults, peg, stay pegged for years, and even depeg, go to 75 cents, and then reach back and retrace to its value. I haven't looked at the code, but I mean, I looked at the charts, and that's exactly what it did. And it's a fork of, yeah, it's a fork of DAI, and it was called Mai, and it's, they got Key DAO. So it's yeah, it was pretty interesting to see these the similarities, and then the big dip. I think it was around November, and
so,
dropped all the way to 75 cents, and then right back up.
to give a little reference, I asked Riggs the other day about if there were any key forks or forks outside of the snapshot one we had. If anyone actually ever took the code of DAI and forked it, the maker down, the whole thing. And so he did. He's like, yeah, and he looked up and looked back into it. There's one called My, and the DAO, like maker DAO, is called Key DAO, QI. And then doing more research into it, come to find out, not only is it a fork of DAI, but it's a stablecoin backed by crypto. So somebody took the DAI and did what we're trying to do on Pulsechain and backed it by stablecoins and other assets. So, and like you said, it's 100 and something, and it's actually a history
Mhm.
of a stablecoin maintaining somewhat mostly of a peg over a course of a few years that's backed by crypto and forked of a DAI. So I mean, like, dude, finding that was like,
Yep.
what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I completely forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, they had, yeah, like the token itself is dead, but it's alive. It seems like it's alive on Pulsechain. But it seems like they moved a lot of that stable value onto Superchain, and which is going to be placed on some of these layer twos. So yeah, that is, and yeah, and it proves pretty much exactly what you're saying, that these can be backed. The vaults can work, and it can be forked. It can, and it doesn't. I mean, what did they vote in? They probably just voted in 182 different assets just to utilize to help maintain it, and then let it drop to a certain price. Maybe that was a test run, and then literally brought it all the way back up to, I believe, 98, 99 cents recently as
It
well.
all just
So
makes so much sense, and I swear I have to be an absolute like crazy man. If it's not doesn't work out, I can't see how it won't, because it all makes sense. We got a network with PRC20s that were mirrored over that could all go into this fucking vault to liquefy. Like, it just makes so much sense, dude. Crazy.
yeah, I don't even, and that key DAO, and it seems like it's been around for a while. It's not just something brand new that had just came out, or it had been around for a little while, and helped maintain its peg at 27 million in value. So it's no small feat. It was pretty much on Polygon. Most of the value was sitting on Polygon. There was a couple million in on Ethereum, and a couple other chains, but mainly Polygon, which is where that's where I can even go off even further with the airdrop that was given to hex holders, and some of the ties with that. But that's super speculation, and I think I've talked about it before. But yeah, man, it's pretty exciting times. It's just it's tough to see people exiting or people dumping bottoms, but I think it's just we're still probably got a few more weeks to go at least till these bottoms are in, and once everything unfolds, I think it's going to be a little bit way bigger than anyone could have thought. And that's even myself. Like, I get so caught up in the concepts of it and the ideas of it that it's just like, well, how did they even come up with that, or how could they even pull that off?
I think that the information you've gathered is hard to just give to someone and be like, here, say this. I think that it'd be good to have you on like Corey Costas, or even if you could, if ever, like a Somi or something, to like break down the things you found recently with the key DAO, what you're finding on Gnosis, and all these things. Like, you know, Twitter is a good way to relay it, but man, with the YouTube people, there's different social crowds. You miss a lot of people when you're only on one specific social. So, and you know, it would be good. Like, I know Corey probably. I don't know if he has Sunny on, but he don't mind. Like, he's always looking to get, you know, and he's got a big following. But I think that people need to hear about this more than the little group of the PDI center. You know, like our with the inner eco knows what's going on, but some of us, not even the main PDI yet, until you told, you know, 9iron and Sancho and whatever trickles down from them. So it's like, it would be nice to
Yep.
get a loudspeaker on the things you found for people. It's a good reason to hold down here, and it would be good news to give people to be like, oh, okay, well, I needed something, you know?
To me, like, that's whenever I started reaching out to bigger influencers, because the news just got so big and overwhelming that I just had to tell some of these guys. And some of them were kind of already on top of it. Some of them were not. Um, so I just started delaying releasing some of the information right whenever I found it, just because, like, I wanted to digest it myself before I just released it, because at the very beginning I was just going all out. So, like, everything that I found, as soon as I found it, I was talking about it. And, some of that stuff turned out to be true. Some of it, kind of fell to the wayside. And so the research that we have been finding and the things that we have been pointing out, it's kind of indisputable. But yeah, it's the whole idea would be to get these guys to at least be paying attention to what's going on, so they could do the research and then, come back and, yeah, this is true. Yeah, this is false. Yeah, this is true.
Well,
You know.
the Gnosis stuff and information and all that is super bullish. Like what we got going on, the links there,
Oh,
but the fact that a stablecoin backed by crypto actually does exist right now and has existed for a while. That's what Luna was, right? But we're talking about one that will actually work, right? And a successful stablecoin backed by crypto. One is already done. It's not had a lot of pressure on it and all that. But the fact is, we've seen one that hasn't Luna spiraled. That was around a few years back, which means like right around the end of the bull, going before the bear. So it had some pressure, and it survived the bear without going into a death spiral. So like that, this is one of the most hidden bullish signals that most people don't even know, especially T-Dye Maxi. No idea that there is a existing stablecoin backed by crypto that is a DAI fork. It's crazy.
oh yeah. Yeah, it was interesting to start reading. When I was reading the white paper and stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is 100% a fork of DAI. And it existed on multiple chains too, so it wasn't just, so it looked like it was tested and tried, and maybe it dumped for purposefully, and just to see if they could get it back up. Um, but yeah, it's definitely super interesting to see that, because I don't know if people doubted the fact of being able to use other collateral.
Well, yeah,
That's just something I never doubted.
Luna. Look at Luna. It did not work.
Well, see, but Luna supply, whenever Luna dropped, its
It minted.
supply
Yeah,
increased
I
though.
know it
So
minted to back, but
it's
it wasn't only backed by, it was backed by other assets, I'm sure.
correct.
Well, once the
Yeah,
yield
but
dropped, they cleared
the
out, and then that's when it started firing.
right, DAI supply goes backwards. So DAI would deplete its own supply to push itself back up. So it would rebase. It would do a negative rebase to push itself up if it had to. That I do know is built into the code. I don't think it. I mean, the minting function seems like it's turned off completely. They minted the exact amount on all these coins that I believe they knew that they could back at a certain point. I think that was all purposely done. The 22 billion all that was all because the AI that was running in the background telling them that they that they had enough of certain assets to utilize that would be able to back these assets when they minted. So I think that was all purposely done, and it's a hell of a way to front run fiat trying to come onto your, come on. Like, so if some, they wanted to come destroy crypto, so they would come on with a bunch of fiat and just trying to wreck it backed by fiat. And I think, real world companies and real world ties is what's going to help siphon that fiat off chain.
It has to get out, Riggs. Like, but all the way from the gnosis to the finding out the key DAO, and then I mean it literally, like the Block Atlantica, like these are things that people have no clues going on the underside, and it's really hard for anyone else to explain it. But you found is could be, but you must be a very unique individual, sir, to be able to find it in the way you have, because no one else is talking about it. You're the first one, so I'm assuming you're the first one to really find it. So like
right. I felt like someone was stalking me, but but I mean, other people after I let out the information and things like that, everyone went, and they all went back, did research, and came back with even more info to prove certain cases and to you know, like, yeah, like the whole MakerDAO, like who MakerDAO holders aren't even here yet, right? Like the whole Maker chain doesn't even know what's going on. They just know, Sparks over there, pretty much. It's same thing with Gnosis, I guess. They just know that some of them probably don't even know that Spark launched over there. The logo's not even really there, just launched over there. So yeah, I mean, the idea would be, breadcrumbs, and then hopefully can get a little bit louder. But yeah, the whole idea would be getting the news out, and then yeah, like you said,
if not with like
the ability to,
if not with like an influencer, maybe in the way like Decentralized Me did the videos for the P-Dye, right? He did 2 of them, the pegging and how it would happen, and those kind of went viral in our space, right? Like everyone was like, oh shit, in this video, everyone's seen it now. So maybe even getting the data to him in a way that he could organize it into a third video would be another. He went about like why, and then he made a video of how, and now he could do, what, like there's other shit doing it, or I don't know, just anybody who can
right,
organize the things you guys have, the gnosis, the all of this shit, the key DAO, and every breadcrumb, the spark swap, and all this cross chain activity that's been happening. There's not like, even in the depositing in the vault that you were saying he deposited hex, the centralized me video don't even know, it hasn't even shared that information. Like so basically
right,
all the information he's got was kind of like from Nine Iron Capital's data that he's been releasing. Uh, you know, so
right.
yeah, it's basically you guys. You guys are leading the front, because not every, you got to be a hell of a detective to find these breadcrumbs. They're not like that easy for most people, because it's been a year and you're the first one to really find it.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, that's all I've spent my time doing, honestly, is just as soon as Nine Iron and Sunny kind of came out with their information, I just kind of went a different route. I looked for relationships and not necessarily deep into the blockchain, but like on the surface layer, and that's where a lot of it was just surface layer. Then as you go deeper, it just gets even crazier. So it's just it is a deep rabbit hole, and I mean, it's speculation to a point, but then there's just like at a certain point, you're just like, this, can't be a coincidence. And so yeah, it's I definitely it's super bullish. I'm super excited. I'm just trying my best to get the information out the way that I know how. And I mean, yeah, I think Corey did follow me. I've reached out to a couple other people. It's just, yeah, I think I myself need to take the time to have it all written down and a nice little presentation to us, so that I could either give it out to somebody, or to where I can go step by step through it and present it in a proper way, other than just a ranting on of a
But
bunch of different things.
like digestible and in an order somewhat.
Correct. And I have it all written down, but I did have it all written down, and I had all my screenshots and everything saved on my phone, and then I dropped my phone right before I did that Access a live stream.
I think
So
it's pretty
that kind
clear
of
that
sucked.
somebody is trying to bring DAI on Pulsechain to peg. Whether that's Richard Hart or not, I think the evidence stands pretty clear that there is enough activity, and the activities being performed would be activities you would do if you were looking to stable a coin with the functions that TDI have with the maker DAO and such. I think
Right, and then Atropa itself too, like the way Atropa protects DAI, the way you have Circle 2 is double the price of DAI, and then there's they're ratioed all the way to the top, and then if you have bots trading on either side of those from Circle 2 all the way to the top, it makes it MEV proof, it makes the chain, it makes it you can't take a loan out against it, you can't take a flash loan out against it, and even if you did, you only get 66 cents to the dollar, which was probably one of the reasons why DAI was so successful, but was also the reason why they needed SDAI, because SDAI itself allows the leverage and the flash loaning that DAI itself could not provide. But yeah, I mean, the most reasons that stablecoins depeg is from flash loaning or big whale attacks. So with Atropa sitting on top of it, pretty much like a decentralized maker DAO. And then if it's like that's one way, and then they could also have, over collateralization and vaulting, so there's this, I believe that there's more than one way that they can get this to $1 and, keep it there. And then, then MakerDAO launching their own chain. That's going to be minting stable coins with a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake. Minting wrapped DAI, wrapped USDC, and then seemingly sending it somewhere to be backed by something else to then unwrap it. So it's pretty interesting, right? Like they would this would had to have taken a lot of planning, and you would not give up the name MakerDAO or the that multi-billion-dollar company unless you were going to be moving into something that was more purposeful or just as profitable, because technically that's what they're doing. They're changing their name and kind of rebranding. So it's got to be something pretty big, and I think it's all to make DAI more
all
decentralized.
intentional. I believe it's all intentional too, and even every last detail is intentional. You can almost, I think Sonny's right. There's price suppression purposefully for reasons maybe unknown, or it could just be low prices for better liquidity, and testing the floor or whatever. But why did we launch in May? There's a saying in the stock market, the common saying in the stock market, right? Sell in May and walk away. And if you look at the history,
Right.
year after year after year after year, May, Bitcoin's typically, if you look at all the years added, it's mostly red. There are a few green years, but it's like red, bad, and barely is like 0.5% green if it is. So it's interesting because we were supposed to launch in 2022, May, right? We're going in May, baby. It should be ready in May. And then what happened in May? Nothing. Silence. Boom. So nothing. April, May, June, nothing. So okay, why was it an exact year Pulse was ready to go? Why was it exactly a year in the following May? Oh, so he didn't look like he was not like lying? Like, oh, I said May, I didn't say what year, ha ha. Like, come on now. Why did it take a whole year for Pulse to hit? So I don't know. I just find it weird that we were supposed to launch in a May, but we didn't, and maybe thought it was the bottom of the market, but then he waited a whole year to launch in May again. There's something about the timing. Every little thing, it's like a chessboard in the moves.
Of opportunity if you're DCAing,
Somebody put a tweet out, and under it, somebody commented, 50 weeks to shake out the weak hands, then 50 weeks to shake out the strong hands. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sami said that first. I saw it in another channel. I think Alan's in here. I think he might have been the one that.
No, I actually, in the comment section where I saw this, under it, Somi said, nice, this actually made me laugh. So he must have used it and said it somewhere, because I did the same thing. I copied it and then put it quotations and sent it to Telegram somewhere. I was laughing. And then under that, in that same comments, under Somi and someone was saying something, there's a Wojak meme that says, guys, Richard meant 50 weeks to shake out the weak hands, or 50 months rather. He meant 50 months to shake out the weak hands. A crying Wojak.
Well, yeah, it's all perspective, right? Because, yeah, 50 weeks till what? Like, it's all relative.